Okay, so welcome. So welcome to Summer Solstice Yoga. So if you have all of your things kind of nearby, if you've got a candle, I'll light it and just pop it so it is nearby. So if you've got any sitting cushions or blocks, you might want to place them underneath your seat. We're coming to a position that is going to be comfortable. So you might extend your feet out. You might have a wall behind you, so you might want to prop yourself or a sofa or a bed, whichever room you're in. Okay, so we're just taking a few minutes to arrive. So coming into our meditation, I've got a few readings as well. So just allow your shoulders to relax. You might have a little wiggle around, you might kind of wiggle through the hands. And then if you turn your palms up, just want to be quite open to what's coming today. And maybe let the eyes close or just drop your gaze down. So you don't need to look at your candle right this moment. So today, as we know, is Summer Solstice. This is where the lunar energy is aligned, so we get the longest day of the year between sunrise and sunset. The days go shorter, moving to autumnal equinox in September. So normally and traditionally, we would practice 108 sun salutations, and we'd let the solar energies of summer solstice nourish and support you. And then that would take flight for us in kind of direction of head. So the element is fire. And this means for ignition, also for yang energy. So there will be a little bit of movement in our practice today. And also acknowledging the source of light within ourselves. Just be aware of how the body feels and how the breath is coming in and out. So why the 108 Suriname styles? Like I say, we're not going to do them today. In Hindu beliefs, the 108 is a sacred number. 108 sacred points of the body, so mama points. And 108 sacred sites in India. And it's also the distance of the sun and the earth, 108 times the sun's diameter. And the solstice means sun stands still. So you might like to think of your own kind of things that are going to be happening ahead. So this would be a really good time to set new intentions, goals, and new motivations. And also honouring nature, because we can get outside more. And the sun opens up our body and mind, so we feel generally more free. We actually feel like doing lots of activities. And like I say, there's a lot of yang energy around us. Okay, we're going to start with single alternate nasal breathing, just to kind of get the energies balanced. So if you blink your eyes, use the right hand or the left hand, whichever is suiting. If you're using the fingers, so I can show you both ways. So you can either curl the fingers around in the center and then leave your front and first finger free, or you could use your index fingers so you're not kind of feel like the hand is blocking your face. So on that sense, we take an inhale, we curl the 3 fingers down in the center, and then we lightly block through the right nostril. And then we breathe out through the left nostril. Breathe into the left nostril, and then lightly block. So there'll be a slight retention of air. And then we breathe out through the right nostril. So I can show you this a few more times. If you're using just fingertips on both hands, so we breathe in, we lightly block the right nostril, and then we breathe out through the left nostril. We breathe into the left nostril, lightly block, and then breathe out through the right nostril. If these things don't suit, visualize the air coming into the right. So we're taking this up to third eye, so this is a triangular breath. And we're breathing out through the left side, but we visualize the air coming out. So continue. Once you've found the flow, you might just have your eyes closed anyway. So we're feeling the flow of air coming in. We pause, we hesitate, and then we feel the breath coming out. So inhale. And then exhale. One more guided time. Inhale. Lightly block. Hesitate. Exhale, right. So let you have a little while just quiet. So I'm going to do 2 more cycles of breath. And last one. And let your hand be free. Take a deep breath into both nostrils. And out through both nostrils. Okay. If you wanted to change your seated position, you can kind of move around. Just a little bit further ahead of you. So just so you have eye distance. So this is Tratak or candle meditation. So this is really good for stress relief, relaxation. It's going to help with our concentration, and it's really going to open up our third eye chakra, and it's going to aid to peaceful sleep. So I want you to fix your eyes on your candle. And just notice kind of flickering the edges of the flames. And kind of the flames possibly having a dance around, they might be moving in different directions. So you might see kind of collage of different colours. So we as well take intention, or think of that intention. Just keep watching the flames flickering away. Just notice how the flame, like I say, occasionally may have a little dance if there's a breeze coming in. Then close your eyes. So even if you don't have a candle immediately ahead, you could use your imagination to notice how the flame would be. So in your mind's eye, you'll see that flickering flame. And then you can blink your eyes. We're going to do that one more time. So just taking a few more moments to observe. So the fire here in the flame is representing the sun. Again, perhaps this time the flame is moving differently, or you've noticed something else. Maybe you've noticed the outside of the candle holder. Maybe the wax is starting to melt. If you have a non-fiery flame, you may have some type of candle, and just kind of visualize how the shapes and the edges of your candle is. And then blinking the eyes closed, just let the eyelids soften. Let your mind divert also to your third eye. So inner knowledge, your inner intuition. So we may need to go back to this vision of your candle if you get distracted. So hopefully that's going to stay in your mind's eye. And you can blink your eyes open. Probably suggested that you move out of the way, so you're not going to be touching yourself on it. Okay, then blink your eyes. Just take a few breaths together. So breathing in, let the arms come up. And then link the hands as you exhale. So you start to free up the body. And then let the arms relax down. You bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Using the right hand, you can gently assist, so freeing up the neck. Let the left shoulders relax down. Feeling into your breath sensation. Moving the hand away, bring your head back through center. Inhale, reach the arms up, link the hands, press the palms away. So lengthen through the body, soften through the shoulders. And exhale, release the hands. And de-raise the left shoulder. And then maybe use the left hand, just support. So we're not kind of pulling or yanking, we're just assisting or just letting the weight of the hand release the neck. Just taking our time. So all about love and kindness and intention. And let them go, bring the head back through center. Roll the shoulders a few times. So our practice is based around love and kindness. So there's a lot of space that we're going to open today. Okay, from here, if you come through 2 hands in this position. Now, you could use your blocks for what's coming, so I'll show you both options. So if we take a tabletop position, it's going to move into cat-cow just to free the spine. So once you're kind of secure on the floor, we allow the belly to move down. As we move the belly down, squeeze the shoulder blades at the back and then lift your chin away from the chest. So opening up through your throat, opening up through your plexus. And then let your chin tuck in, into the palms, spring up through the upper back, and then really kind of tuck tail under. So we're rounding, we're moving through the pelvis. And then we'll move again. So moving down through the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then you'll lift your gaze. And then moving the head, pushing into the palms, rounding through the back, moving through the hips and pelvis. We'll do that one more time. So the belly's moving, the downwards, spine is moving, shoulder blades squeezing, eyes turn away from chest. And there, and then we're rounding through the back. And we're coming back to tabletop. It's going to go anywhere you like here. We're going to take some circles. So we're moving into the back, we're moving into the hips and pelvis. You can bend your arms, so you don't have to leave them in here. So let your arms be free. Just let your body go with the flow. So it's almost like we're kind of snaking away, going the other way. So you might do a few kind of snake movements in the middle, and then go the other way. So whatever kind of feels good. So just get some space in your body. So kind of wiggle side to side. Moving around in a circle. And go the other way a few times. So not really structured, just so your body can feel free. We've had a busy day, we're thinking, just let your body go with the flow. Okay, so our first asana, so they're going to be slightly longer today, so they will be around 4 to 5 minutes. Obviously, if that time is ticking and you're not happy to stay, then obviously we move out. So I'll show you with my panel. So we're going to come to mountain heart pose. So from here, we'd walk the hands ahead. Now, it may be that your hands go a little wider than the mat. That's okay. But we don't want to bring the forearms down. We want to keep the arms quite active. And we're sinking the chest down towards the ground. Now, maybe when you're here, that you actually need your cushion or a block to rest your forehead on. So we're quite open through the back body. So this is where you could use your block or blocks or cushions. Alternatively, so if you're wanting a bit more from your practice, you could place the hands on the blocks. So it's gonna just feel a little bit more intense than this. So I would say you can give it a try. And if it's not for you, then take the hands off. So we're going to be here for 4 minutes. If after however long, we're just going to take our body back to child's pose or whatever variation of child's pose. You can come up slowly and kneel if you like. So the timer will be running. We're going to stay with you for the first few minutes. So here, the knees want to be in line with the hips. The hips want to be lifted high. The feet, well, that's really optional. You could tuck or relax the toes. So whatever's more comfortable. And then we allow the body to get comfortable to then become quite uncomfortable. So we're breathing into discomfort. We're not breathing into pain. So we allow the chest to expand, we allow the heart space to open. Now we have space to breathe into the front of the body, across the pectoral muscles, front shoulder, and equally into the back body. So maybe the backs of your shoulders. Even round to the outside shoulders, so the rotator muscles. And this really in itself is a soft back bend. So although it doesn't feel like we're bending backwards, it will be a natural kind of curve movement through the spine. And just give ourselves some time to be. You might find that you just need to wiggle and adjust occasionally. And then kind of feel free of whatever's going on in yourself. You'll be free of any thinking, free of any tension. So when we're holding our positions, we're softly releasing the muscle fascia. So the skin and the muscles that get tight. So if we're resisting, sometimes the fascia will get a little tense and a little bit more tight. So this is where pranayama or our breath flow is really going to help us. I'm going to stay with you just a little bit longer, and then I'll just guide you through the rest. So just taking a few moments still and quiet. Okay, so still pausing here. So you have 1 more minute here. Breathing in love and kindness for yourself. So our transition will be to child's pose. If you start to slide your hands back towards you, and then let your heels go backwards. So maybe you might have your cushion, so you could place them over the blocks. Here, so less pressure on the knees, and just gently bring yourself back over. Take the arms down by your side, so then let the shoulders open at the back, because if you're still trying to tense up here, we want to let that go. You might tilt your head to the side. So just absorbing the benefits. Also giving your body time to just wind down, especially from child's pose. This is going to calm down your nervous system. So nothing here to see. If you tilted your head, move your head forehead to center, and then tilt your head to the other side. Just let the air flow in and out. There's also a really good counter pose for most of our asanas, or just when you need to take a break. If you bring your hands forwards, then let your body come all the way to the floor. So you could do this one with blocks. I'll show you what we'll do. So we're going to come into a variation of seal pose or sphinx pose. So sphinx pose, I'll guide you from here. So we'll bring our arms out to If you're using the mat, just to the outside of the mat. And then your elbows are not drawing back, they're kind of just outside the shoulders or just slightly forward from the shoulders. If you pick up through each leg, so just create some length again. And then press down into the palms of forearms and then lift up. Alternatively, you could use a cushion or a rolled up blanket. You could place your cushion just under the top ribs. So you can do this as assisted. I just need to wiggle that around. So sometimes that's a bit more doable, and then you can walk the hands in. And then your alternative as well, if you want to kind of lift yourself a little bit higher, you could come onto 2 blocks. Or you take seal, so the hands are stretching out. So where the elbows are, we keep them there, but we lift the forearms off. So that may be doable. Again, you can support underneath your seal. You could tuck the toes here. So in your Sphinx, you could tuck the toes. And if you're coming into full expression of seal, you can turn the toes outwards and then lift the chest. So just kind of figure out where you want to be, because again, this one we're going to be here for 4 minutes. You've already been there probably a little while trying to figure it out. So we're lifting the chest. So remember, if you're in seal pose, you can always then let your forearms rest down. So no problem there. So your shoulders are slightly down, squeezing at the back. You're fixing your gaze to, well, if you've got your candle head, you can just go back to your back. So your candle gazing. So the earth is supporting through here, so through the palms of your hands, the tips of your fingers. Might be something through the elbows, so we're not kind of too rigid in our upper body, just enough to feel the heart lifting, chin away from your chest. And you can say, once you know what's going on with yourself, you might shut your eyes down. Breathing all the way to the lower back, the gluteal muscles. Backs of your legs, fronts of your legs. Make sure your feet are comfortable. And you're bringing that nourishing breath into your body. And then breathing out, letting go. So not holding on to anything in particular. So the first few asanas, we find ourselves opening up to love, acceptance, hopefully a little bit of joy. Maybe going back to the image of your candle, or an imaginary image. And just letting the time pass by. Okay, breathing in and breathing out. Start to lower yourself down. If you have anything underneath you, just put that down. Your feet will turn out, turn everything in. And then let your forehead rest either onto your hands, your forearms, or just let your head tilt to one side. You might find that you just want to have a little gentle rock through the hips. And then just come to stillness. So resting belly pose. Just again, as child's pose, we just calm down the nervous system. We acknowledge how the last asana feels. So almost that reflection time. Noticing the beating of your heart, the vibrations in your body. So although we're not going to officially do 108 Namaskar in this practice, we will do some kneeling Namaskar just to create that little bit of fire in ourselves. Okay, so you bring your hands to the mat, near your shoulders or under your shoulders. Lift ourselves up to tabletop. So we'll go through a kneeling flow. We say that kind of mimics our Namaskar. So you're going to push your hips back, step your right foot forwards. We lift the chest. So light on your fingertips or use your blocks on your hands. We're going to lift the arms up. What we're going to do, we're going to link the thumbs. So these are your sunshine hands. Feel free to lean back. So kind of link the thumbs and stretch out the fingers. And then bring the hands down. We take a half fold. So we're going to push the hips back. We let the chest come forwards. So toes up or down on the right foot. We bend the knee at the front, all right. We slide the foot back. Hands under shoulders, we're going to take a downward facing dog. Reaching down into your finger pads, your palm. You don't necessarily have to have the heels down. We lower the knees back down. Left foot's going to step forwards towards your hands. Gaze at the back, top, and relax. Lift your chest first, so light on your fingertips. And then reaching your arms up. Again, link your thumbs. Sunshine through your hands. And then option, you can lean back. Or just you're reaching up. And then bring your hands down. And into that single leg stretch. So feet up or down at the front. And breath out breath. Something through the arms. You can walk the hands back towards you. Then through the left knee. You send the left foot back. And we're going to come to high kneeling position. So we reach up and link the hands. Reach up or lean backwards. So the hips are roughly in line with the knees, or it might be taking arms down. And then we're going to sweep the arms. And then we take child pose. We're going to head this down, the hips are high, arms can be down by the side. There should be a bit of heat going through your body, because we're going to do that for one more time. Okay, so let's get grounded. So bring the hands down, tabletop. Right foot steps forwards. Light on your fingertips first, so get grounded before we lift the hands away. So reach up, link the thumbs together, stretch out through your fingers. Pushing front knee, lean back, feel like creating in the front body. Bring the hands down. Push your hips back. It's a single leg stretch or half split pose. Moving forwards. Moving foot back. On the toes, downward facing dog. Shoulder blades, gently giving you wrapping or squeezing at the back. Triceps wrapping and dogs. Lower the knees down. Left foot steps always toward your hands. Right on your fingertips first, so we lengthen. And we reach the arms up, linking the thumbs, spread your fingertips. These up, or we can maybe let the heart lift. Bring the hands down. Pushing the hips back. Pushing forwards. Slide the feet back. Bring into high kneeling position. Linking the thumbs again. Lift the chest. And let the arms sweep down by your sides. Head low arms and slowly relax them. Relax them. Okay, from here we're going to come to tadpole pose. So tadpole pose is going to help with flexibility in the hips. So we're going to take the knees a little bit wider. I'll say this kind of loosely because you might want to go a little bit off your mat. Your feet, your big toes at the back are closer together. Again, feel free to put some cushioning under the back of the knee. So we are going to take a twist here as well. So we're going to take the back of the right hand, the back of the forearm. We're going to slide the arm underneath. So it may be that you're kind of lifted. This is okay. You may want to use a block or cushion for your head. So if you feel like your head is, I don't know where to go. A little bit on your left. So if you reach your arm away, I'm going to move a little bit further away. You can just have your left hand supporting. Now we reach the hand ahead, or you might want to take a wrap here. So we open out. So if you're taking a wrap, this will also open out through the front shoulder. So we are going to be here for 3 minutes. We've been there a little while already. You might have the feet just slightly away from one another. So it's a variation as well of the wide knee child's pose, but it's called tadpole in yin practice. And we're off the back. Shoulder. Taking our time to kind of just come into the asana. So it doesn't, whether we arrive, we then kind of, take our time to really feel our way around, just kind of notice, are we comfortable, uncomfortable? Should we put our hand in a different position? And come to the back. I'm quite happy just to be here. For that part of it, you can decide. So this is where intuition, mind's eye, body connection. And just where we've moved in them puffs from flotations, the body's going to be warmer. The heart would have gone up a little bit. Start to calm the breath back down again. And we'll let the eyes shut down. Your time to let go. So just time for a few more breaths here. You have a wrap here, slide your hand down. Press into the ground with your left hand. Bring up through the right arm. And then wiggle slowly so we don't want to move too quick. Move the end. And just take a few moments to wiggle around. So as when we started, you might feel that no movement is necessary. Before we move to the other side, take it down over again. So hands spreading full into the floor. This also gives us a really lovely backward stretch. Hamstrings, calves, feet, and the back, mid and upper back. Satisfy the upper arms and kind of head. Just your gaze is the nose tip or the back of your mat. We've got this nice inverted V shape, so it's tailbones nice and lifted up towards the ceiling. You can lower your knees down. I just want to have a little circle up through the wrist. I'm just going to turn so. Okay, so we're going back to a turtle. So first time around, you might have thought, actually, I can move my knees a little bit more. So yeah, make all those necessary adjustments. Feet are together or they're slightly apart. So push back first, and then we'll take the left arm. So the left back of the hand, the left arm, reaching underneath. Support your head. Or just let the side of the face, the ear go downwards. Right hand is supporting. Reach the top of your mat. And we'll take the hand to the lower back. We reach around, so you might be taking a wrap or bind. And bring up through neck and shoulder as well. Some nice movement through the spine. And we're softly releasing the spine. And we're softly releasing through the shoulders. I am letting go of whatever is not deserving. Bring yourself some time for stillness and quiet. In our everyday life, sometimes this really isn't possible. Okay, so not too much longer here. If we take a wrap round, start to bring the right hand to the floor. And use the right hand to slide your left arm up. So easy does it, we're going to come round into a seat. And once you're here, might find that you want to roll the shoulders. You want to move your head from one side to the other. So whatever kind of needs to happen here, you might just have a little few half circles. Okay. So we're just going to take a short, this one is short, this will be caterpillar. We're only going to be here for 1 minute. So feel free to touch on your blanket, whatever you want to use, you might not need it. And then keep the knees quite soft, pick up through the seat, so draw everything back. And then we're aiming just to have kind of quiet and peace when you come forwards. So you can start to slide your hands forwards. And then let your shoulders drop, let your hands go. And then obviously find comfort in your back body, so if you need to bend the knees more, and there can be a gap between the feet, you don't have to have the feet too close together, so whatever's going to give you some comfort here. So really nice back body stretch for the hamstrings, the lower back. Also just let the arms, the shoulders separate, so if we're tensing up, let your hands relax. And so just the last few breaths here. And then just slowly come up. Happy the last one comes up. Okay, so just to kind of close, I'll show you both ways. So if you've got your rolled up blanket, so as long as you're just using a longer cushion, which is quite lifted off the floor, but I'll also show you the bolster way. You may need a block or another cushion. I'm just going to show you this now. So if you have whatever you're using close to your lower back, you're going to roll yourself back. And your head is just going to be slightly tilted back. So your chin will be away. So this is baby fish pose. If with your head tilted back, you don't like it, you could then support. So we lift open the throat. Exactly the same if you're using the bolster, you'll just be a little bit higher up. So the bolster goes to your back. And then we sort of have to wiggle to let the head go back so we can sweat this and then come in handy. So it depends on your neck and your shoulders. So if you have neck shoulder injuries, I wouldn't say that would be a good position to be in. So kind of wiggle, so we should throat is open, and then let your arms relax out to the side. Your feet are going to be grounded. And you just need to wiggle a little bit more. So just kind of just shy of your lower shoulder blades. Really creating this space across the chest. And your feet are grounded. You can do this with the leg straight, but it may not be comfortable for your lower back, so I would suggest that maybe the feet should stay grounded. Just allow the body to arrive into space. You don't have to fully extend the arms, so don't have to be straight out. Just soften the elbows, just allow all of this space to be here. So nice restoring yoga position. We're supported, we feel open. So breathing in love, joy, and happiness. So this time to let your body and your mind let go. Relaxing through the face, the jaw. Really connecting into the space. So if we're talking of chakra system, this is green. So all this love and happiness and joy. We're going to be here for a few more breaths. You need to do a little bit of wiggling here. There's underneath, you're going to kind of wiggle and place it under the lower back. So we come to supported bridge pose. So kind of wiggle a little bit more. So I would say you could switch this out and place a block underneath. So you could push that totally away. Put a block underneath instead. So feet are still grounded. If you only had one cushion, feel free to pop the other one underneath. As long as your hips are lifted, your knees are in line with the shoulder bones or the hip bones. And then you can let your arms relax on your sides. So you might have a little wiggle first and make sure your head is comfortable, so lift up. So now we don't have to have the throat open. Equally, we're not closing off. So position your cushion so you feel supported and you neither too far extended and you're pressing down. So just reset. And again, as before, you could stretch the legs out. But again, as long as it's not pulling on your lower back. So in that sense, I would keep grounded. So a really nice soft way to open out through the front of the body. Thighs, the hip flex, and body, heart space. Feeling a sense of freedom throughout. So everything is supported, feeling the earth under your feet, feeling your props underneath the lower back, feeling the back of the hands, your arms, triceps, shoulders. Just a few more breaths here. So inhale nose, maybe exhale mouth. Whatever you have underneath you, with the hips, glide out. And draw your knees into your chest. So we're pausing knees to chest pose. You can hold it onto the backs of the legs, the shins, and bring the knees and feet a little closer together. Shoulders. So stretch out through the lower back, the glutes. And we pause. And letting go of anything that doesn't serve me. You start to lower your feet down. Either stay with the knees pointing up or the knees coming in, just to relax the hips and pelvis. Feel free to extend your legs along. If you have the cushion or the bolster, you can turn it the other way. With support underneath the backs of your knees. And just come into complete relaxation. You might bring one hand to your belly, just feel the calmness of your breath and one way out hand to your chest. So feel, breathe, acknowledge. Let your whole body sink into the floor. So the reading today is a summer solstice blessing. It's the summer solstice, the shortest of night, where our planet is blessed with the greatest of light. The sun at its power, sharing its wealth, with the earth glowing in abundance and health. The trees' leaves are green, and the birds are in song. The days are as warm as they are long. To honor the animals, the plants and living things, the sun and the water, and for all the life that it brings. May you find well-being and may you find peace in days after solstice as the light does decrease. May the blessings of the solstice be yours, I pray, and the light warm your heart and soul every day. Just take a few moments to arrive back into your body. Maybe take the arms back behind you. Maybe wanting to yawn or sigh. Your legs are stretched out, bring your feet closer towards you. And then feel free to move your knees from side to side. Or just massaging your body into the floor. And then whenever you're ready, just rolling over to one side. And then coming up to your seat. And then just to close our practice, just taking a very blurry gaze, if you had your eyes closed, just taking a gaze at your candle. And turn your palms up, bring your thumb and first finger together. Perhaps you're noticing something different about your candle flame. By now the wax would have melted. And then if you bring your palms together, and we'll bow in gratitude for us being here today on this very long day. Namaste, thank you.